On the cusp of the first official court hearing, Justin Baldoni's team has released new material, including apparent text messages from actor Ryan Reynolds. And the argument is, does it put this whole story in a new context? You see, while Baldoni is accused of sexually harassing Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively, he claims he was bullied and was ostracized with false allegations. So we're going to go through some of what was just posted on a new website launched by Baldoni's team.
The way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me.
Hollywood is no stranger to scandal, but what happens when the drama spills off the screen and into the courtroom? What if the stars we admire the most are suddenly pitted against each other in a battle of allegations, lawsuits, and shattered reputations? This isn't just another celebrity spat. It's a high-profile clash involving Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, and the New York Times, locked in a fight that could redefine how power and accountability collide in Hollywood.
From Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, that they were planning on launching a website that would list more text messages and purported evidence in this ongoing legal feud between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And this is, of course, after Lively filed her lawsuit against Baldoni and his production company and others, including a PR specialist and crisis management expert. Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, said that they would release every single text message between Baldoni and Lively.
Yes, we're talking about the same fight that involved Justin Baldoni, beloved for his compassionate public persona, being accused of sexual harassment by none other than Blake Lively herself. In retaliation, Baldoni has now filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit against the New York Times, accusing the paper of misrepresentation.
His allegations of the series of events. However, these files provide a lot more purported material in this story that we need to go through. And to be clear, there are things in this timeline that are more specific or not laid out per se in the amended complaint, but they could very well be used at an upcoming trial if this goes to trial. It's currently scheduled for March 2026. Now,
when Lively expressed her discomfort, the article alleged that Baldoni and his PR team retaliated by planting negative stories about her in the media, labeling her as difficult and unstable.
Justin is suing the New York Times for $250 million. Holy hell, this is insane. I mean, he's going to have a hard time proving it, right? I mean, we're going to have to see. No one just sues the New York Times, or do they? I don't.
But Baldoni's lawsuit paints a different picture. In it, he claims that the New York Times selectively quoted texts and emails, stripping them of critical context to make him look like a villain. He argues that the article has caused irreparable harm to his career and personal life, and he's seeking $250 million in damages. On June 2, 2023, Blake Lively began a text exchange with her It Ends With Us director and co-star, Justin Baldoni, who blamed her assistant for not getting her an updated batch of script pages. She didn't realize they were new. Lively wrote, "New pages can always be sent to me as well, please," and signed the message with an X, the universal symbol for a kiss. She followed up with another text shortly thereafter, "I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work out our lines." Blake Lively has just dropped a major plot twist in the ongoing drama surrounding her recent activities, as she is officially suing Justin Baldoni for inappropriate behavior and defamation. This lawsuit comes after the public turned against her during the press tour for It Ends With Us. Ever since the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel was announced in 2019, anticipation has been sky-high. With over 20 million copies sold worldwide and the novel becoming a TikTok sensation, fans had immense expectations. However, the announcement of Blake Lively, famous for her role as Serena van der Woodsen in Gossip Girl, being cast as Lily Bloom left many fans skeptical. Their concerns grew after set photos revealed unexpected costume designs for her character. The tension escalated even before filming began, as reports surfaced about conflicts between Blake and Justin Baldoni, who not only directed the film but also starred as Ryle Kincaid. While the exact reasons for their clashes remain unclear, whispers of creative disagreements and a strained dynamic behind the scenes began circulating early on, adding fuel to the already heated controversy surrounding the project. The speculation surrounding Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni only grew stronger when fans noticed that Justin appeared to keep his distance from the rest of the cast during production. Now, with the recent news of Blake's lawsuit, fans are revisiting everything that transpired before and during the press tour with a fresh perspective.
One in mind, we're going to revisit that one a little bit later. But Baldoni has also sued the New York Times too, because he alleges that they illegally coordinated or colluded with Lively to release a bombshell article the day after she filed her initial complaint. And it was entitled, "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine." And he says this was filled with sloppy reporting. It was one-sided. It was filled with false allegations against him. So now what happens? Baldoni and his team launched this website over the weekend. And I said the timing of this is something else. Why? Because what is actually happening on Monday? Well, I will tell you at the time of this recording, it's happening about 2 hours from now. But the first court hearing in this case is happening in New York federal court. And what is being discussed at this initial court hearing? That Lively and Reynolds have been trying to stop Brian Friedman from what they claim is essentially litigating this case in the media and the public. They have opposed all of his public comments and the release of information in this case because they claim not only has he been doing interviews and podcasts and speaking negatively about Lively, but he has also released information and alleged evidence in this case. And that includes the now infamous behind-the-scenes footage of Baldoni and Lively filming that montage dance sequence for the film. Whereas Lively had claimed that Baldoni, during the scene, was creepily smelling her and improvising this intimate scene by caressing his lips on her body and so forth, a form of sexual harassment. Baldoni claims this footage helps to show that she was the one who...
Baldoni is among a group of 10 plaintiffs, which also includes publicists Melissa Nathan and Jennifer A.L., who are suing the newspaper for libel and false light invasion of privacy over the article titled, "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine." Lively's federal lawsuit, on the other hand, dives deeper into the allegations of harassment. She claims Baldoni's behavior began subtly but escalated over time, leaving her feeling unsafe on set. According to her lawsuit, the retaliation campaign not only damaged her reputation but also caused her severe emotional distress. The 87-page complaint, which also accuses the New York Times of promissory fraud and breach of implied contract, offers a rebuttal to the narrative set forth in the 4,000-word article that has rocked Hollywood and led to WME dropping Baldoni as a client just hours after publication.
Justin also leveled accusations at Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, for being aggressive while defending the Gossip Girl actress. According to the lawsuit obtained by E! News, it reads, quote, Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, had aggressively berated Baldoni during a meeting at their penthouse in New York, accusing him of fat-shaming Lively, and that the couple's, quote, inappropriate and humiliating berating of him was delivered as other celebrity friends were coming in and out of their penthouse.
And how the worst thing Justin Baldoni's team can come up with is that she was rude and difficult and threatened not to show up at work. You know, if you read the complaint, I think she had very valid reasons why she wouldn't want to show up to work in an environment like that.
Justin's decision to remain silent, coupled with his hiring of a crisis PR team, led fans to speculate that he was intentionally distancing himself from Blake amidst the controversy. 4 months after the release of It Ends With Us, the off-screen drama surrounding its production escalated to a shocking new level. Blake Lively officially filed a legal complaint against Justin Baldoni, accusing him of creating a hostile work environment and engaging in deeply inappropriate behavior on set. The complaint also named Wayfarer Studios, Justin's production company, and its co-o, Jamie Heath, as co-defendants. It alleged a troubling pattern of behavior that affected not only Blake but also the cast and crew, further deepening the controversy surrounding the film's production. According to the legal filing, Justin Baldoni's actions went far beyond typical workplace tensions. Blake Lively alleged that both Justin and Jamie Heath frequently made inappropriate remarks in professional settings, specifically toward female cast and crew members. One of the most damning claims pointed to a meeting held in January, attended by Blake, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and several other production members, where Justin's hostile behavior on set was directly addressed.
Just tell me what it was like also collaborating with Blake.
Oh, she's a creative force. She's a genius. She was involved in every aspect of this production, and everything she touched, she made better.
I mean, it all started with a letter that Colleen received from you.
Yeah.
That message must have been so heartfelt. What do you think was the words that you used that really captivated?
During the meeting, several demands were made to ensure a safer and more respectful work environment. Among these was the requirement for an intimacy coordinator to be present during scenes involving Blake and Justin, stricter guidelines regarding who could be on set during vulnerable moments such as nude scenes, and an agreement that no further inappropriate remarks would be tolerated. Another shocking claim in the filing involved Justin allegedly asking Blake's trainer intrusive and inappropriate questions, further highlighting the uncomfortable environment on set. He focused on the deeper themes of the movie and engaged in discussions about the real and significant topics portrayed in the story. This stark difference in their promotional strategies only added to the ongoing controversy surrounding the film and its production.
What about the why behind it? If a Lily Bloom in real life can sit in this theater and maybe make a different choice for herself than was made for her, maybe she sees herself on that screen and chooses something different for herself, that's why I made it.
However, fans quickly noticed Justin Baldoni's silence regarding the controversies surrounding his co-star, Blake Lively. As Blake faced an overwhelming wave of online hate, Justin refrained from addressing the backlash against her. Instead, reports surfaced that he had hired Melissa Nathan, a high-profile crisis manager known for representing Johnny Depp during his legal battles. This move raised eyebrows, with many questioning why the director of a seemingly straightforward romantic drama needed such a heavy PR strategy. While some individuals stepped forward to defend Blake amid the ongoing smear campaign, Justin's continued silence spoke volumes. His unwillingness to publicly support Blake added fuel to the fire. In fact, one of his comments seemed to exacerbate the situation. He referred to Blake as a creative force who had taken control behind the scenes, a remark that many interpreted as a subtle criticism of the influence she and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, reportedly wielded on set. Blake Lively's legal complaint went further, detailing how Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath allegedly discussed Blake's personal habits and struggles, matters that were irrelevant to the movie, making her and the crew feel deeply uncomfortable. One of the most shocking claims involved Justin asking Blake's trainer intrusive questions, such as how much she weighed. This behavior, combined with the alleged discussions, contributed to an atmosphere that made Blake and others feel uneasy on set. The complaint also accused Justin and his team of orchestrating a coordinated smear campaign aimed at damaging Blake's public image. According to Blake's legal team, Justin allegedly hired a crisis manager to lead an online campaign using moles to plant and amplify negative stories about her. This strategy was said to fuel the many controversial narratives about Blake during the movie's press tour. The posts, while appearing organic, were reportedly part of a sophisticated, coordinated, and well-financed effort to protect Justin's reputation at the expense of Blake's. In fact, Blake's behavior during the promotion seemed to stem more from her contractual obligations rather than personal choice, adding another layer of complexity to the already tense situation. Fans pointed out that Blake Lively seemed unable to address the movie's real issues during the promotional campaign. Instead, she was encouraged to maintain a lighthearted tone while promoting the film, in stark contrast to the serious themes portrayed. As the press tour progressed, many suspected that it wasn't until Justin Baldoni saw the public reception that he decided to go rogue. His Puerto Rico team allegedly pushed for a more authentic approach, which resulted in Justin being portrayed as the only serious member of the cast. This shift led fans to believe that there was an elaborate effort to smear Blake's name in the media, with one fan commenting that they felt manipulated into blaming Blake, while the real responsibility likely lay with the entire team of studio executives and producers. The fan expressed disdain for Justin's actions, stating, "Justin is a gross man for going rogue at the expense of Blake's reputation." They also noted that Blake's behavior during the promotional campaign now made more sense, adding, "I feel terrible she went through that, it's horrible."
This alleged smear campaign caused what Blake described as substantial harm to both her personal and professional life. Her team claimed that Justin's camp actively worked to slander her credibility, all while raising his own profile, which made it even more difficult for Blake to navigate the media landscape during the film's release. Since the lawsuit was filed, Justin Baldoni's legal team has denied the allegations, with his lawyer, Brian Friedman, calling the accusations shameful and entirely fabricated. This denial comes amid the ongoing legal battle, which has intensified public scrutiny surrounding the behind-the-scenes tensions on the set of It Ends With Us. Despite the legal rebuttal, the controversy has continued to capture the attention of fans and media alike, further complicating the dynamics between the cast, crew, and their respective public images. Friedman also claimed that Blake made numerous demands during the film's production, including threats to derail the project unless her conditions were met. Justin's team argued that the hiring of a crisis manager wasn't intended to smear Blake, but rather to protect the film from what they described as her alleged disruptions. However, the tide of public opinion seems to have sharply shifted in Blake's favor. Several prominent figures, including her Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars America Ferrera, Amber Tamlin, and Alexis Boleto, released a joint statement in support of Blake. They expressed their disappointment, stating, "Throughout the filming of It Ends With Us, we saw her summon the courage to ask for a safe workplace for herself and colleagues. We are appalled to read the evidence of a premeditated and vindictive effort that ensued to discredit her voice." Colleen Hoover, the author of It Ends With Us, also expressed her support for Blake, describing her as honest, kind, supportive, and patient. Colleen's backing added significant weight to Blake's claims, as she had been deeply involved in the project from its inception. Even members of the film's production team and cast have come forward to side with Blake after she took a brave stand. Brandon Skinner, who had already defended her during the film's press tour, has since reinforced his support for her, calling her a respected professional. Fans are now speculating that Blake might have kept silent regarding all that has happened until now, as her legal team was gathering the necessary evidence to expose Justin, something that seems to have worked incredibly well. This complex situation seems to reflect both a clash of personal interests and the challenge of balancing corporate pressure with a genuine desire to promote the film in a meaningful way. This situation definitely reveals a lot of complexity with multiple perspectives at play. The dynamics between Blake, Justin, and the media, especially the way Blake's public image was targeted, add layers of intrigue. It seems like a strategic effort from Justin's PR team to shift the narrative in his favor, but it unintentionally cast Blake in a negative light, and much of that negativity was amplified by social media and the media's focus on it. You're right that the internet's divided opinions show just how nuanced and polarizing these types of situations can be. People may interpret Justin's actions differently. Some might see them as strategic or genuine, while others might view them as manipulative.